and welcome back to the 23rd episode of the News Just News weekly roundup. As always, I am Adam, your host today, and I am joined by the amazing Anna Ferraz.
Hi,
Hello.
guys.
And again, Lucia, welcome back.
Hello.
So, as always, we talk about everything on this podcast from entertainment, music, films, gaming, as we will go into today, festivals as well. And you can find all of these stories and so much more at newsjustnews.com. So let's kick it off. We spoke a little bit about this last week, but it's week 2 of Coachella. So tell us more about that, Anna.
Yeah, Weekend to Coachella. I mean, it's been everywhere in the news. People are obsessed with this festival. And you know what? I understand why, because Weekend 2 was incredible. So many celebrity guest surprises on stage. It was amazing. We even saw Olivia Rodrigo join Addison Rae on stage to sing her new single "Drop Dead" and a new album, which is coming out in June. Woo! And then we also got Billie Eilish go on for Justin Bieber. Justin Bieber he's had this like long tradition of bringing up a girl on stage when he sings "One Less Lonely Girl" and basically serenade her. And Billie Eilish, as we know, has been a believer. She has been a fan for a very long time, and you can see in her reaction when she was brought up, she had no idea, and she was just so overcome by emotion, like covering her face, crying. She was like fulfilling her childhood dreams. So that was another celebrity surprise, and then we get to the main one, which was in Sabrina Carpenter's set. She was singing her song Juno, and that song is famous for having a Juno pose break, where she'll stop and do something funny or do a little dance move or a pose, whatever it is. But this time, instead of the pose, she brought up Madonna. And let's just say the crowd was not okay. I was not okay. And wow, what a moment. This was actually Madonna's. She hadn't been on the Coachella stage in 20 years. Her last time being on the Coachella stage was in 2006 with Drake. And she mentioned this to everyone. So it was a beautiful moment. She was wearing the same clothes that she wore in the 2006 show, which actually is quite unfortunate because the outfit went missing after Coachella. And even on her Instagram, she offered a reward saying, you know, this outfit's part of her history because she wore it in 2006. So please, if anyone has it, I will pay you money. So that was not so great. But during the whole set, they started out with Vogue. So no one knew what was happening first. Sabrina first. We were just expecting a pose, whatever. The lights went off and everyone started doing the iconic click. And people were like, what's going on here? And suddenly she disappears. And they started by singing Vogue. Then they did like a prayer. And they also did a unreleased song from Confessions 2, which is an album that is coming out in June. Kind of like a second album from Confessions on a Dance Floor. So this is really amazing. I was shocked, and she really is coming. Madonna is coming back into the limelight. I think she's, releasing new music. She's getting back into it. So those were a lot of appearances at Coachella. We had Olivia Rodrigo, Madonna, Billie Eilish. So I do think Weekend 2 was the best weekend out of the festival. So yeah, that's the gist of it.
Wow, that sounds so fun. I do always love it when sort of like semi-random celebrities get together and do things like this. It's always so cool to see a mashup, and so cool that Madonna is coming back as well. Maybe, we're reviving the top era of pop, of course. Lucia, there's so many things that have been happening at Coachella. Have you been keeping up with it all that much, or have you just seen the headlines?
I've seen some of it, yeah. I've seen a video of Madonna just like dancing in the crowd, and it was amazing. It was just her in the middle of like, huge amount of people with this like giant jacket of fur, just like dancing as if no one was watching, and it was amazing. But yeah, I've seen the bit that Anna was mentioning about Olivia Rodrigo. And I've seen a little bit of Billie Eilish with Justin Bieber. And it's insane to me to think about, her being such a mega star now and still, being so emotional over being invited on stage by, a singer that you really admire and that you're a big fan of. I think it's really sweet. So it was just really, really cute to see. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Billie Eilish being a believer, I can so see that. She looks like one in the best way.
Yeah.
But also, I mean, going back to the Sabrina and Madonna, I don't know if you saw this, Anna, in the some of the videos of it, but I did see like a little bit of criticism online about people just with their phones, not dancing, not singing to the lyrics. What do you think about that?
I think this has become a trend with Coachella. It's become the influencer Olympics, as how I would phrase it. And not even people who are influencers, it's just become such an important event for people to capture and put online. And it's sad. It's sad to see people joke about it in the comments, like Adam, that video of Madonna and Sabrina, and they're like, "Oh, not a phone in sight. How refreshing." Because that's not the case. And, I mean, if I was in that moment, many people are recording that. Sure, it's okay to have your own video, but I mean, I would want to be completely and utterly present in that moment of seeing Madonna. So definitely there's a lot of people have been saying this year specifically has been so content based, and people kind of just want to get their photo. And actually there's been like a decline in actually appreciating the music, which is the whole point of a music festival. Now it's kind of become about names and which influencer you're going to meet, what brand is representing you. So it's quite sad for me to see, but that was a bit of like a backtrack. But it's the same kind of thing. People are just recording, and I think we must bring back just being in the moment and appreciating the music.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Lucia, I feel like you're such like you're into your music. Are you a phones away kind of girly when you watch it, or are you there full 30-minute recording? What kind of you?
No, mainly because like apart from the fact that I feel it's a bit of a bother to the people around you if you're holding like your phone, like this. Also, I'm not very tall, so like I will be putting it as high as possible and cover like the view for other people. But also, I don't find myself watching the videos that I take anyway, after the concert, because I want to keep the memory that I've got of, seeing the people on stage. And I don't really think it's like something that's really useful to me specifically. But for events like that, I feel like it's even less useful because it's such a big event and such like a huge thing that might never happen again. To have Madonna with Sabrina on stage, things like that. And I wouldn't film it. Like Anna was saying, obviously Coachella has always been a lot about, brands and a lot about publicity. And, even I remember when I was younger, we had Vanessa Hudgens and Alexa Chung, and they were all, going to Coachella, and there was a huge spotlight because everyone was copying how they were dressed and things like that. But now it's become more and more into like the advertising kind of like brands influencer thing. And yeah, it's a bit sad because it takes away completely the attention to the music and the actual, people that are there to perform rather than, just to look around at what, I don't know, Kylie Jenner is doing. It's just, it's a bit sad.
Yeah, definitely. And for everyone at home watching, you can see the previous podcast we talked about Justin Bieber's set, me and Anna, we did, and you can find every article. There are so many on now, all about Coachella at newsjustnews.com. And going from music festival to a musical. by the famous, the incredible Lin-Manuel Miranda. So, tell us what we know about this, Lucia.
Yeah, so Lin-Manuel Miranda, obviously mega famous, as you were saying, for being the creator, actor, director, everything of Hamilton. He's working on a musical film. So this is going to be the second musical film he's ever directed after Tick, Tick, Boom from 2021, which I absolutely loved personally. I thought it was amazing. And it was a really nice movie based on the life of Jonathan Larson, who was another Broadway legend, the creator of Rent. And in this case, we have an original movie. So it's going to be a musical film called Octet. And the plot, I think it's quite interesting. Basically, we have 8 people meeting in the basement of a church to discuss their internet addiction. And I think that's a very contemporary topic, but also quite interesting. It's going to be an a cappella musical, which means that obviously there's not going to be any musical accompanying the voices of the people singing. And the huge thing that's been announced is the cast. So Lin-Manuel Miranda posted a picture of the complete cast, and the names are massive, especially if you're a musical fan. It's like people that have been working on musical for ages, and people from Broadway, people from the TV, but also from other musical films and stuff. So we have Jonathan Groff and Philippa Sue, both of them from Hamilton, and a lot of other stuff, obviously. We have Amanda Seyfried from Mamma Mia, and again, huge cinema star. We have Rachel Zegler, who has just recently been in Evita, and also in Steven Spielberg's West Side Story. Then from more TV roles, recently at least, we have Gaten Matarazzo from Stranger Things and Trammell Tillman from Severance. So really big names, really, and I'm really excited to see where this is going. And we know also that Lin-Manuel Miranda is working on another musical, this time for Broadway, which is Warriors, and it's based on the 1979 film. That one is a bit more of a second project for now. He's not really working actively on it, but there's a lot of talk around that project as well, because it's going to be quite a massive thing. Obviously, the movie being really famous. So yeah, we'll see where all of this will go, but I'm really excited about the movie because it sounds like something really interesting, and I love that it's going to be a cappella as well. It's really, really nice.
Yeah, definitely. I think the premise, when I was reading about the premise, it sounds very, the Bo Burnham album. It gives me those vibes, so I'm excited to see it. And Anna, yeah. I know from your reaction, your ears pricked when you heard about this. So, how excited are you? Are you gonna buy it? Are you gonna watch it as soon as it's out? Are you gonna be on the front row?
Guys, you can't. If you are gonna ask me about Lin-Manuel Miranda, I'm gonna talk for 2 hours. I'm gonna try and keep it a bit short, but I love him. He's my everything in life. I would die for him. And this is my prized possession that I wanted to bring today, which is my Hamilton table. Yes, I am a big musical theater kid, and I would, if I could, I would just sleep with this, but I don't want to break it. So, anyways, I am so excited about this. I think, first of all, I'm really excited that Lin is directing this. I would not have expected him to direct it, and I think he is going to do it justice. And the cast as well, we've got, like you were saying, Lucia, we've got Jonathan Groff and Philippa Sue from Hamilton, who originally play King George III, and of course Elizabeth Schuyler. So that's going to be amazing reunion to see. One thing I love about Lin is that he often brings out people he's worked with in the past to work on his projects. And we've seen that a lot of times with In the Heights and Tick, Tick, Boom. He brought out a lot of people that he's worked with. So I'm so excited. There's nothing else I can say besides I'm sad. I'm going to be in the front row. I'm going to be the first to buy tickets, and I'll probably watch it about 20 times. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sure if you keep track of Anna's page on newsjustnews.com, I am sure there will inevitably be, the upcoming. There'll be everything. There'll probably be a review as soon as it's out. So keep track of that, everyone. Yeah. Anyway, on from a musical to a sort of video game music. So Lana Del Rey has fulfilled quite a long time dream of hers to write and sing, obviously, for a Bond theme. So I think it's very her. So the track it released the other day, it's called First Light, and it's for the video game 007 First Light. And it's actually kind of a prequel, so it's gonna explore Bond's origins at MI6 and how he got his license to kill. And it's gonna star the Irish actor Patrick Gibson, and and also it was written by the famous Bond's, the iconic Bond composer David Arnold. So basically the most iconic Bond themes. It's got those influences. It's there, and this has been a long time coming for Lana Del Rey. I know a lot of her fans. I certainly knew she wanted to. She's so Bond, and actually, like in 2015, she put forward one of her songs, 24, from her honeymoon album. So she proposed it for the film Spectre, but it was rejected at the time. I do kind of see why, because it's quite a slow song, but now this one, it's got the trumpets, it's got the action, and I think especially because it's kind of, I do think it's a little bit ironic as well, because obviously Lana Del Rey, she got huge off the song video games, and now in this song she is asking people, she's asking Bond, will you play your life like a game? So it's so cool to see. I know so David Arnold was super excited to work with her, and he said, music is a huge part of Bond's identity, and he was excited for Lana's unique take on that as well, especially with her ethereal voice. And so the developers as well were excited to have them both on for this song, and they've described it as instantly Bond, but a fresh identity. And so 007 First Light is going to come out in the 27th of May for consoles, Xbox, PSP. Oh my god, I'm showing my age there. PS5, and then there's going to be a Nintendo Switch 2 version later in the year. So, and this is the first Bond video game since 2012. So exciting to see, and especially as a Lana fan, I'm so happy for her as well. But I don't know. So are either of you Bond fans or Lana Del Rey fans?
We're both.
Yeah, more Lana Del Rey.
I can't say I'm a huge Lana fan, but I think it's just because I don't know many songs. The ones I know I like. As of Bond, I'm more of like a casual watcher. Like I've seen most of them, but yeah, I'm excited to see who's going to be chosen though, like for the next Bond, because they still haven't decided, it feels, and there's a lot of talk around a lot of actors, and who knows.
Yeah. I know there was a thing about like, will it be a woman? Will it be a man? All of these sorts of things. Have you been keeping up with that much, Anna?
Not specifically, but I think it would be amazing if it was a woman. But what I find so interesting as well is how pop stars or just singers in general are kind of trying to get their name into the gaming or, either video games or the soundtrack to films. We've seen that with Miley Cyrus. She's gone to events not because she was nominated, but just so she could network and get her name out there. And then we obviously had Sabrina Carpenter in Fortnite. Her avatar was there, which was a major success. So I'm really excited for this. I think Lana is the perfect decision, and her voice is just so unique as well. I think it's going to go it's gonna bond really well with the music, with the game. So funny.
Definitely. And on that note, on that lovely Anna, thank you everyone for watching. And as always, you can find everything we've spoken about and so much more at newsjustnews.com. Thank you, Anna, for being here today.
Thank you.
And thank you, Lucia, for coming back from the moon.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone. See you next week.
Bye.
Yeah.